Hi guys, hope you're enjoying your time off from school. Probably the last thing you want to see is me on your time off, but part of our flipped classroom, I get to come right into your home. So I know it's scary, but deal with me. We're going to talk today a little bit about subject complements. We've been looking for complements for the last week or so, and you guys are getting pretty good at doing that. So I think you guys understand where they are. We've done a lot of practice with this. Your work looks really good. But before we were talking about objects, and the thing you need to know is that objects apply to verbs. Okay, so direct objects, indirect objects, they tell who received the action in the case, okay, or to what the action was given. Like in the case, the man hit the ball. Ball would be the direct object because that is what is getting the action. That's what it's getting hit. We're going to look now at subject complements. And subject complements, as the name indicates, they complement the subject. In other words, they clarify the subject. Okay, so they're still going to be in the same pattern. They're still going to be kind of at the end. They're going to further explain what the predicate is, but they clarify the subject instead of clarifying what the verb happens to. Okay, so the first thing we'll talk about is a predicate nominative, and basically a predicate nominative is just a word or a group of words that helps identify the subject or refer to it. So it clarifies who the subject is or what the subject is. Okay. We'll take a look at those, and let me pull this up here. Let's get this clicked on. Okay, what I've done is just basically pulled a worksheet off of the internet, and I'm going to work through some of these, showing you guys predicate nominatives, how they work. And like I said, basically they're just something added at the end of the sentence as a complement that clarifies a little bit the subject. Okay, it doesn't really have a lot to do with the verb. It clarifies the subject. Okay, speaking of the verb, that's going to bring us to the point. In this case, basically, we're going to be talking about linking verbs, which are also known as auxiliary verbs. So these things, these subject complements, only happen when you have linking verbs or auxiliary verbs. You don't have one of those real tangent actions like we were talking about last time, like hit. That is not a linking verb. So in hit, in that case, you're going to have a direct object or an object of some kind, indirect, and direct, something like that. Okay, so I don't want you guys to get too confused, but these always have linking verbs. So let's take a look. Basically, it looks like what they've done is they put the linking verb, they circle the linking verb, and then they underlined what ends up being the predicate nominative. So let's take a look at number 2, and we'll do this the same way we've done the other ones, but basically it says Anne is a new mother. Anne is the subject. Okay, is going to be the verb because that's our linking verb. So to answer the question, you find the complement. Anne is what? It says, she's a new mother. So in this case, mother, because new modifies that, but mother is going to be the predicate nominative. How do I know? Because Anne is a mother, so mother clarifies what Anne is, and in that way, there's no real action here to have a direct object to, but there is a subject that can be clarified by mother. Okay? Let's take a look at the next one. It says the tall boy has been our best basketball player. So obviously in this case you've got the boy as the subject. He has been would be the verb, and has been what? So our complement is going to be basketball player. To clarify that, just player. So we would highlight that, okay, as being the predicate nominative there. Next one now, my uncle became a rich computer expert. In this case, uncle would be the subject. Became would be the verb. And what did he become? He became a computer expert, or in our case, simply an expert. Okay? So I hope you guys are seeing that these complements tagged on the end here, known as predicate nominatives, they just kind of clarify the subject. So you can probably see a pretty good connection between uncle that's being mentioned here as a subject and expert, because that is what he is. Okay? So it further clarifies your uncle is an expert in computers. Okay? The tall boy is a basketball player, or your best basketball player if you need to clarify it that way. But he is a player on your team. Okay? The next one down, Mr. Romney may be our next president. Well, you can tell this is outdated, and that's not true. But Romney would be the subject. May be would be the linking verb or linking verbs. And president would further clarify what he may be. Okay, and you guys can see that we're making a connection between Romney potentially being a president there. So it kind of modifies what Romney is. The next one down, my favorite pets were a squirrel and a rabbit. All right. In this one, pets would be the subject, were would be the linking verb, and just to clarify, squirrel and rabbit. Okay, and in this one, just like we've had before, you actually have two predicate nominatives. Okay, so this can happen once in a while, so to make sure that you guys are on top of your game and you're watching out for those. I'm not going to go through too many more on here. I think you guys know complements pretty well by now. Just know that when they're in this case and you have something that clarifies what the subject is, it's going to be called a predicate nominative. Okay, you found these before in some of the work, but we never really looked specifically just for predicate nominatives. Okay, so two big things to know: they have to be in sentences with linking verbs, not some hard tangent action, and they're going to be basically things that just clarify the subject for you. Okay, take a look at this on here. You might want to pause it, just look through these, see if you can mentally just kind of work your way through these. If you don't have much of a problem identifying the complement, which is also known as predicate nominative in this case, then I think you'll be fine in class. Thanks for watching, guys.